Tyler and Scott from Roambiotics. What was your inspiration around creating a self-actuating stand-up robot? Like, where'd that story come from?
Well, the unicycle one, actually, he was originally interested in bicycles. It's a long story, but there's...
Well, I mean, just, it sounds kind of stupid, but I just sort of thought it would look really cool if there was a unicycle that rolled around by itself, and it would kind of look unbelievable. And then we started playing with robots and stuff, and I go, well, this sort of works because if it tips over, it can turn off on its own, and so you don't get this sort of like moped turned on its side with the wheel going 100 miles an hour syndrome coming, and we just really wanted it to look cool.
Literally, he went from never using CAD before to making 3D chairs.
That's crazy. What is the coolest thing that you've designed? I mean, aside from your robot.
It's pretty hard to beat the robot, but I've made some pretty cool chairs that I like. So I don't know what material I print them in, but it's hard to, because it's so easy to change it that I constantly keep changing it and updating it, and I don't know. So I haven't ever actually printed one yet, but one day we actually talked about designing an entire room full of stuff that you made yourself. And so, like, you know, down to the light switches and the chairs and the table and everything. So maybe one day we'll get there, but we have to build a robot first. So
Dude, that's so cool.
We're gonna, so the beta product is actually, I mean, it's a manufacturing run, but it's not mass produced. Really, you can go to roambiotics.com, and we're selling t-shirts and
oh, dude.
To support the cause, you gotta support the cause.
Well, I'm gonna get a t-shirt, but yeah, I'm in. How did you find out about Fusion?
The biggest thing was actually, I was looking for CAD software that works on a Mac, and stuff that was not like a toy, and I mean, there are things like OpenCAD and things like this that work, but they're not very, the user interface is not very good.
Yeah.
I spent months looking for software that would work on the Mac and not be a toy, not be something, like SketchUp is nice, but you can't do the kinds of things that you do in Fusion, or Fusion 360. I see, like, honestly, I think it could be better than SolidWorks. Yeah? I mean, not just, like, the price of SolidWorks, especially, it's a very cool package, it does a lot of stuff, but it's very expensive. And I mean, we've talked to the salespeople, they showed us these demos and showed us a bunch of stuff, and then they're like, well, this would be like $20,000 for this package or something.
Yeah. I mean, this was your first, like, experience trying to design. What worked in Fusion that allowed you to be successful?
You know, I think just, it seemed familiar. I don't think there's one thing in particular, but just looking at the tools and stuff, I just was able to pick out what they did. You know, I have a little bit of experience with Adobe products like Photoshop, Illustrator. And so just based on that, and just looking around and sort of exploring a little bit, you just kind of play with things. And, you know, eventually, I mean, it really didn't take long. I'd start out with a block, and then I added another block, and a rectangle, and stuff, and next thing you know. And so it's really just a combination, like, it didn't seem overwhelming and complicated.
So you're using them in tandem. So what?
No, actually, we're just Fusion now. Okay.
You just straight. Are you straight? You made the switch.
Which is sometimes it's been a struggle, but it's there's enough in there that we've been able to do it.
What do you think of Techshop?
Techshop is amazing. I didn't know what to expect when I came here, but it's extremely big. It's clean. It's and they have a ton of resources, and it seems like the sort of vibe of people that are here is pretty nice.
Well, guys, my camera's getting hot. Tyler, Scott, thank you so much for taking the time to interview. And
thank you guys.
My name is Colby Bowles. I'm mostly an electrical engineer, but a design engineer. I do a couple different things. I have a company, we make automotive products. We reverse engineer car engine computers and make tuning software for cars. But I also do some 3D fingerprinting, 3D biometrics work. So we have a whole hand 3D imaging system. It's used by the US government mostly and the military. It's for, captures 3D fingerprint of your entire hand, your palm, your fingertips, everything at once. So you can see the pores inside the ridges of your finger. You can see little beads of sweat coming out. You can tell someone's alive, all that stuff. Use Autodesk Inventor. To design the case. We also kind of model the optics. We get information from other optical modeling systems to get the basics of what the lenses are doing, but then we kind of model the way the light is traveling through the system.
So where do you see a fit? Like, what would you envision? Like, if you were talking about, this is what I'm doing in Inventor, this is what I'm doing with Fusion. What would that look like?
Well, what I've learned from you actually is that you know, for kind of rough modeling, the Fusion is a lot quicker. You know, for maybe final production work, you know, we use Inventor still since we already have it. And I have a Mac-based laptop. You don't have
You're a Mac guy.
for Mac OS
Nope.
X, and so either I run it in a VM, which is not very good performance. I like to be able
So
to
you like
not
that.
really worry about the platform I'm on.
Okay.
So that is another big one for
Okay.
me, because I'm starting to become constrained where I only can work at my workstation to do certain kind of work. Also development work I do in software, other things, I'm kind of stuck on this one platform, you know. It's nice to be able to hop on anyone's computer and be able to do work.
Be able to just
you know,
do
so,
work. Yeah.
yeah.
What do you think of the event?
Oh, I like the event a lot.
The event? Okay.
Yeah,
What do you think of Techshop?
Oh, I like Techshop
Okay,
a lot. It's
okay.
funny, I have a shop that's just 3 blocks from
Okay.
here, so you know I don't come here as often as I probably should.
Sure. Colby, thank you so much for
You're
taking the time to be on. Really great to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Mr. Westbach,
I work in finance.
finance.
Yep.
Prior to tonight, you hadn't designed any 3D CAD software ever.
Well, I utilize Blender.
How did you get into Blender?
I had an idea about a year ago on an iPad mount that no one's ever thought of. Drew it out and was tinkering with it, and have my complete conceptualized design. Now I want to be able to use 360, Fusion 360, to do stress testing on it. So I don't know how heavy something can be, what effects it has. It looks like a really, really cool product, and I like it because I've been trying to get my hands on Inventor, and it's a really expensive program, so this gives me the ability, or really anyone in any industry, the ability to put their ideas to life.
How did you find out about Fusion 360?
I've used Meetup for a while, but I'm in Autodesk. You guys have like a separate Meetup group.
Yeah, we do.
And,
Yeah.
this gives me the ability to pick people's brain about how they utilize the program, and so I was able to tinker with it a little bit today with you and check out the different materials that you can have for it and how to push and pull. And it's really intuitive. It's really, really easy to use. This is how I get my creative side out. And in fact, it's only $25 a month. That's like half of like a June membership.
Totally.
So anyone can tinker with this program and go to a shop like this and say you designed something. You could print it for relatively expensive, and basically your mind's the limit of what you can make.
Well, any other comments? The kind of general.
No. It's been a really cool event, and but I got to reach out to you guys and learn about the product.
Definitely. Wes, thanks so much for coming out. Yeah.